everybody, I'm Michelle. I'm one of the two mythical unicorns here on this channel, and today I'm coming at you from my mother's kitchen. I'm hanging out here this week because it's her birthday, so we're gonna celebrate that, have a couple of nice relaxing few days inside, of course, because it's very cold. There's also some snow. So winter has finally arrived in south of Sweden, so it would seem. And today is going to be the start of the first ever try of doing a reading vlog on this channel. I have a couple of books that I would like to read while I'm at my mother's. I am currently studying from home, like I guess most people, so I have a bit of time left over sometimes. But right now I'm going to do some uni work, and then I'll go through the books that I want to read during the week, and yeah, I'll get back to you soon. Okay, now I guess the first parts of my uni work is done, so I'm gonna let myself read for a bit. So I'm gonna talk to you about the books that I'm hoping to get read during, I guess, this reading vlog. Now in our, I think, ringing in the new year, or it was looking forward to video, I talked about Station 11, which was gonna become a TV show, possibly during 2020, and I mentioned that I would like to read that book first. So whilst I was scrolling through a second-hand sort of store online here in Sweden, I found a copy of Station 11 for, I think, the equivalent of about £1 or €1. So I bought it. And I think I might be in the mood for something like this. I had a bit of trouble getting into sort of dystopians and stuff during 2020, so we'll see how this goes. But if you don't know, Station 11 is about a world where about a lot of the population has died because of a illness of some sort. So yeah, it's hitting very close to home in some ways, I guess. I think, as I understand it, we're following a group of people who are trying to sort of keep the tradition of the stage alive. So they're doing stage plays, mostly of Shakespeare, it seems, which I find that's a really interesting idea. So we'll see. On the back here it says, if civilization was lost, what would you preserve and how far would you go to protect it? So I think this could be really interesting and maybe a bit too close to home. So we'll see how I deal with this one. Then we have Norwegian Wood by Murakami. This was a birthday gift, a very late birthday gift that I got last year from one of my best friends. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know too much about what this is about. I know that it's set in Japan, I think during the 70s or so, possibly, and it's supposed to be a lot about nostalgia and things. So yeah, I think I'm just excited to jump into a new Murakami book. It's been a while. I've also brought with me my Kindle because I want to do more rereads this year, and I do know I have A Darker Shade of Magic, I have Vicious, I have More Happy Than Not. I think I might have Aristotle and Dante on here. So we'll see which one I feel like reading once I get to the place where I want to do a reread. So that is what we're dealing with. So I think I'm going to start with Station 11 because I feel like this might be quite a quick read. So that's a good starting point, I guess. I'm gonna move over probably to the reading chair, that I like to call it. I don't think my mother calls it that. It's a very new chair, but it's perfect for reading. I'll show you, 1 second. So this is the reading chair. Ignore the pile of Christmas decorations. We haven't gone very far with that. It's kind of perfect. It's right in the the nook, and there's a little lamp and things. And then if you look outside, it's just the ocean. It's kind of the perfect place to read. So I'm gonna sit down and start station 11, and I'll get back to you once I've gone a far bit in. Okay, I've read about 30 pages of Station 11. I seem to have slightly misunderstood the plot of this book, because right now we're following the outbreak of an epidemic, which is kind of like a pandemic. I don't know the difference between those two words. I'm going to be honest with you. I might have to Google that. However, it is lunchtime, so I need some food in me, and then I'll continue on. I'm really liking the writing so far. The characters are interesting. King Lear has just died on stage. Well, he did that in like the first couple of pages. So that's an interesting starting point to a novel. I'm really liking it so far, but let's get some food. So I'm feeling really lazy, so I don't feel like cooking anything in particular. So I'm some fast noodles, because that's healthy. Right, let's get cooking. And now we wait while the water starts boiling, I guess. And then lunch. So whilst I wait for my fast noodles, I'm gonna watch, I guess, my cozy program at the moment. BTS fans will know exactly what this is when I show you that I'm currently rewatching for I don't know what time, I don't know how many times I watched through this. BTS in the Soup. Which, if you don't know, is essentially BTS hanging out at a house in the woods, doing things, hanging out with each other, making food. It's so nice and soothing, and like, yeah, I really love this show. I think it's really nice. I've been watching that, and then I've been watching BTS Bon Voyage season 4, which I also really enjoy. If you're not a BTS fan, probably not something for you, but like, BTS Army, you know what I'm talking about, and it's really nice. So I'm gonna get back to watching this, and then I'm gonna serve myself some lunch. I'm such a student, Jesus Christ. This is my lunch time, so I'm taking a break, and then I guess I'll get back to you once I've finished this. Okay, so now I've had my lunch, and now I want a cup of coffee, and then I'm gonna get back into reading. Now watch me make a cup of coffee, because that's always interesting, isn't it? So now that that's done, I'm going to sit down and read a little bit more of Station 11. I'm hoping to get to about at least 100-page mark today on this one, but we'll see. I'm going to be staying with my mother for at least until Friday, I think, so I have some time to get through these. Like, the goal is to get through Station 11 and then to at least have picked up Murakami, unless I feel like doing a reread instead. We'll see, I guess. Okay, so I've now read until page 110 and am on chapter 17 of Station 11. Now, this story doesn't so far take much, it doesn't take place much in what they call after the collapse, which is essentially after the epidemic so far, which has been nice. Because I still don't really know how I'm going to deal with those parts of this book, but it'll be interesting. I'm really loving this. Essentially, all the characters seem to be connected in some way to the man who died playing King Lear at the beginning of this. So it's a story told from many perspectives, and it switches time and place. It's before the collapse, it's after the collapse, it's during it. And this is kind of one of my favorite ways of telling a story, is that we're following different characters in almost every chapter, telling a different piece of information about the main character that you haven't yet followed really so far. I mean, as I said, I'm soon to be halfway through this, I think, and it's really interesting. I really like this because it's like it's intertwining all of these different stories and characters by connecting them to this King Lear man at the beginning of this. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It is now 3:30 in the afternoon, so I've been reading for quite a while actually, which is always nice. I'm gonna have to sit down and do some uni work in a while, I think, and then I'm gonna have to do some editing of this vlog. I have a feeling. I think I'm gonna set down the book for I might read a little bit more, but I probably won't get too far ahead in this because my mother will be returning by 5, I think, maybe earlier, so I'm gonna cook dinner and things, so I'll see if I get some more reading in tonight, but I am here to hang out with her, so I think I mostly will be reading and doing these vlogs during the day when she's at work. I'm really enjoying this. I totally see why it was popular when it first came out, because I remember a lot of people talking about it at the time. I was just so fatigued with all of these different like dystopias and like disaster novels that I was like, I can't deal with this right now, I'll do that later. I'm glad that the TV show possibly happening got me to finally actually pick this up. Also, the universe just told me to read it because as I said, I found a copy for like £1, which is very nice. I'll see, as I said, if I get more reading done today, but it might be that after this clip you'll see me in the morning. And in that case, I'll see you tomorrow. Hi! It is now the next day. As you saw in that last clip, I read a little bit more, so I'm now on a page 120 because then my mother came home and I made us some salmon soup, which I'll be heating up for lunch later on today. It is about 10 in the morning or so, and I'm currently watching Jamie and Jimmy's food fight club. It's essentially Jamie Oliver and his mate that have a TV show together, and then there's a celebrity that come on and learns how to cook a dish, and it's really cozy and nice. So I like watching that and having that on. I've just made myself a cup of coffee, and I'm gonna sit down with Station 11 and continue on this journey. I guess I'll get back to you once I've gotten a bit further. I'm hoping to get to at least 200 pages today. We'll see how that works out, because I do have some uni stuff and I think I have a lecture later on today, so I'll get back to you on that and see how far I get. But as I've mentioned in almost every vlog clip, I'm really enjoying this book. It's really good. I really enjoy I like the style of it, as I've mentioned, with that it's different characters telling you different pieces of information about one particular person. Yeah, I really like how this is like structured so far. I'm gonna sit down and read some and I'll be back. Right, it's now been a couple of hours. It's about lunchtime and I have reached the point of 230 pages. So I have about 100 pages left of Station 11. This is really, really good. Surprise, surprise. Like, if you want to know how much I'm liking this, you can just look at that. Those are pages that have something that I've underlined for one reason or another. I think at the end of this, once I reach the end of Station 11, I'll read you some of my favorite lines. That'll be like non-spoilery, obviously. Like, just look at those folded pages. That's ridiculous. So there's been a lot of lines that I wanted to remember and be able to go back to. So that's always a good sign. Now, I need some lunch. I've been hungry for about 30 minutes, but I wanted to continue reading, so that's also a very good sign. But now I'm going to reheat the salmon soup that I made for me and Mom yesterday and have some of that for lunch, and then I'll get back into reading again. And so lunch is served. Oh God, I'm so excited for this. This is one of my favorite soups of all time, and it's really, really simple. It's literally just sugar snaps peas, soya beans, squash, and salmon. And it's so good. Okay, I'm gonna eat this and then I'm gonna go back to reading. So, now I've had my lunch, so I'm back on the couch and I'm going to make some tea, and then I'm gonna crack on with the last 100 pages of Station 11. I'm just making a cup of ginger tea with some honey, and yeah, it's delicious. Okay, this book is slowly but surely wrapping up. I have about 30 pages left, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm terrible at predicting plots, so I have no idea where this is going or how this is gonna end, because there's very little left and very few things are resolved so far. So I'm getting more and more worried. For those of you who have read this book, the whole sect thing is really disturbing. I'm not sure I'm a fan of it. You're not supposed to be a fan of a sect, to be fair. Okay, I'm gonna try and get through these last pages and I'll get back to you. So I've just finished Station 11. It's really good. I don't know what I was expecting, but the content of this book is not what I thought it was going to be, and it's in a very good way. Like, it's very positive. The writing is gorgeous, and the way that the author connects all of the different characters and sort of makes everything go full circle is so beautifully done. And as I said previously in this vlog, I totally see and understand why it was talked about so much when it first came out. It's exceptional. It's really, really good. I am gonna see if I can read some of the lines that I've underlined in this, because yeah, as I said, there's quite a few. Normally this doesn't happen to me. I don't always have this many things to underline, but there were so many things that I didn't want to forget and that I wanted to be able to find again. So yeah. This is what happened to my precious book. Oh well, I'm gonna find some quotes. Obviously, these lines will be spoiler free. It's just like so you understand a bit of how the writing is. Yes, it was beautiful. It was the most beautiful place I have ever seen. It was gorgeous and claustrophobic. I loved it, and I always wanted to escape. I mean, come on. She had never entirely let go of the notion that if she reached far enough with her thoughts, she might find someone waiting. That if two people were to cast their thoughts outward at the same moment, they might somehow meet in the middle. Yeah. Obviously those quotes are out of context, but you get a sense of the writing. It's beautiful. Yeah, I'm really impressed with this. This is one of the best. I don't know if I would necessarily classify this as dystopian. It might be like post-apocalyptic rather. I don't know. You tell me. Right. Now I'm going to recoup for a while and sort of digest this book. I'll see if I start the Murakami book today. I might just wait with that until tomorrow. I have to do some uni work too, so I'll get back to you on that. But yes, if you haven't read Station 11, do. Different jumper, same day though. It got cold, so I put on a thick jumper, which is also always nice. My mother won't be home for a good while more, I think. She said she'd text me when she's on her way, and she hasn't texted yet, so I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee and then I'm gonna try and start Norwegian Wood. Now, because I only wrapped up Station 11 about an hour or so ago, no, it's more than that, I've done some uni work. I'm not sure that we'll be able to get into this today. I'm gonna try. Sometimes I need a bit of time to sort of digest a story, more than like a couple of hours. So we'll see. It might work, it might not. In that case, I'll try and get into it tomorrow instead. And yeah, I'm excited. I love a good Murakami, and this is one of his like most celebrated, well-known works. So I'm trying to keep my like expectations still like at the same, like fairly low, because I don't like going in with too high expectations into books. That's why I don't like reading books when they're like really hyped. I like to wait a while until all that's died down. And yeah, it worked out with Station 11, so let's hope the same goes for Norwegian Wood. But yeah, I'm gonna make a cup of coffee and then I'm gonna sit down. Okay, I'm literally on the first page and I've underlined several things on this first page. I'd say that's a good start. So yeah, we're like IKEA shopping for a better life and a better world. But we're doing it together. Oh. Okay, you guys, I've literally read 4 pages of this book and there's so many things underlined. Now I remember why I love Murakami so much. His writing is insane. I'm so sorry. I have to read. I have to read the. Okay, so this is entirely spoiler free. It's literally on page 3. If you don't want to hear it, just skip past it, I guess. Memory is a funny thing. When I was in the scene, I hardly paid any attention. I never stopped to think of it as something that would make a lasting impression. Certainly never imagined that 18 years later I would recall it in such detail. One more, and then I'm gonna go back to reading. I was at that age, that time of life when every sight, every feeling, every thought came back like a boomerang to me. And worse, I was in love. Love with complications. Scenery was the last thing on my mind. It's like, he has such a grasp on like the human condition, which is like such a stupid thing to say, but it's so true. I can't explain it in any other way. It's he has such a way with words. It's kind of ridiculous actually, because it's not necessarily that he's saying anything like revolutionary. It's just like how he decides to express it that's so bloody good. He's so good. And obviously so is the person who has translated this. So my copy, which is this one, which is a vintage one, is translated from Japanese by J. Rubin. So props to you, dude. Like, you did that well. Okay, I'm gonna read a couple of more pages. My mom is on her way home, so I'm gonna read a little bit more and then, yeah, drink the last of my coffee, and then I'm probably gonna make me and mom some dinner. So I probably won't get any more reading in today, most likely, but that's okay. I have started it and it's a good freaking start. Oh gosh. Yeah, so the next clip might just be in the morning. So in that case, I'll see you then. That was me underlining most of that page. Like, this is my relationship with Haruki Murakami. He's so good. He's so ridiculously good. Oh gosh. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Good morning. I think it's about 8. I've just made my breakfast. I'm having my cup of coffee. So I'm gonna watch the news for a bit, eat this. I might take a shower and then start reading. I'll see if I start reading first, possibly. Sometimes, priorities. But yeah, first I'm gonna have my breakfast at least, and I'm gonna watch some TV. We'll see how I deal with watching like the news though. Such a weird time to be living in, really. So now I've had my breakfast, so I've decided I'm gonna crack on with Norwegian Wood. So I'm gonna read for a bit, and then I have to take a shower, and then I'm gonna do some uni work. I decided this morning is gonna have to be a bit of a slow one because I feel like it, and also it's terrible weather today. I'm gonna let myself get lost in a bit of Murakami, then I'm gonna get ready for the day, and then I'm gonna crack on with some uni work, and then I'll get back to reading again before lunch, hopefully. Okay, so there was a slight change of plans. I couldn't let go of the uni work and emails and stuff that I had to get done, so I couldn't concentrate on reading. So I've done that now. I finished what I need to do. I've sent some important emails that I needed to send, and I've also edited quite a bit of this vlog, which is turning out to be a really long one, so sorry about that. And it's now 11, so I think I might make a cup of tea, have a little break, and try and get some reading done before lunch, because that'd be nice. Still know whether to go outside. I was thinking I might need like a bit of a walk or something, but it's not great. All of the snow is gone as well, of course, because that's south of Sweden for you. It's here for a couple of days and then it goes again. I'm gonna sit down and try and get some reading done, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, so I've taken a shower, I've done all the stuff that I need to do. So I've read about 45 pages of Norwegian Wood. It's great. I love this. I love the narrator already. I really like him. I like the side characters that have been introduced so far. It's still for me unclear what the plot of it is exactly. But it's also like a Murakami book, so that's not always entirely obvious in my experience. We're off to a good start. I've been underlining like crazy, as I always do when it comes to Murakami. I get sort of so caught up in his writing that it takes me longer to read through his works, because I'm like, look at this line, and it's like so insignificant. Like he's not saying anything in particular, but the way that he expresses himself is just it's so good. But now it's lunchtime, so I need some food, so I'm gonna take a break. My grandmother has made me some pumpkin soup, so I'm gonna heat that, have a little sandwich with it, yeah, and just have some lunch. So lunch has been had. Now I'm kind of craving a hot chocolate, not gonna lie. It's quite cold and like rough today, so I'm gonna see if Mom has the stuff at home, otherwise I'll just make a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. But yeah, I feel like a hot cocoa, that'd be nice. Yeah. Okay. I'm now on page 85, I think. And yeah, I love Murakami so much. My mother comes home in about half an hour. So I'm gonna try and at least get to the 100-page mark today. And then we'll see. I'm gonna try and pick it up tomorrow again. Let's see. Okay, so this book is 380 pages long, just about. 200 pages tomorrow might be possible. We'll see. It kind of depends on how much uni work I have to do as well. So no promises, but yeah, I'm loving it. It's so good. It's so good. I'm gonna try and get to the 100-page mark, and then I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. So I'm still reading Norwegian Wood by Murakami. I have gotten to page 109, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I have a feeling this might become my new favorite Murakami book. I'm predicting that this is where this is heading. So far, what we are following is essentially a young man and his growing up as well as adolescence in the 60s in Japan. And it's his experience with first love and university and things. And at the beginning of this, he's reminded of his first love by the song Norwegian Wood by the Beatles. Because I just realized I haven't actually told you what this book is about because I didn't know. I don't tend to go in with too much information into books. I like to just sort of try it out, and especially I haven't bought this book myself. As I said, this was a birthday gift last year, so I didn't really know too much about it. But yes, the writing, oh god, he's so good. There's so many things underlined in this too, like look at that. I'm hoping, okay, so I'm on page 109. I'm hoping to get to at least 200 today, and then I'm hoping I should be able to finish this by Friday. Hopefully I'll get to at least 200 pages, a bit over it, hopefully today. I do have some uni stuff to be doing as well, so I can't just be sitting around reading. I do have other things to be doing, unfortunately. It should now be around 9, possibly. Maybe a bit later. So I'm gonna read for a little bit more, and then I think I'm gonna have to sit down and do some laptop work. Yeah, I've got stuff to do. I'll see you later. Hi! So it's been a productive couple of hours. I've sorted out some stuff for uni. I've read a little bit, had mini breaks because that is important. Otherwise you won't get stuff done. So it's now lunchtime. It's about 1 o'clock. Let's see. I did read a bit. I have read until 162. So I've read about 50 pages. As I said, uni stuff. And that does come first. Some days. Right. I'm gonna read some of the, I don't know what to call it, like vegetarian stew. Like it's just vegetables in coconut milk and some spices really, but it's so good. That I made me and mom like 2 days ago, so that should be nice. I'm really hungry actually. I'm gonna eat some lunch and then I might need to do some more laptop stuff and then I'm gonna crack on with reading. Not the most aesthetically pleasing meal in the world. Very delicious though. This is literally just vegetables, some lentils, halloumi cheese, and tikka masala spices, and coconut milk. And it's so good. So yeah, I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna watch some YouTube probably. I'm currently watching Ariel Bissett, as I am very often. Have a little break. There she is. Have a little break, have some food, and then I'll see if I get cracking on reading or uni stuff first. It kind of depends on how stressed I am. We'll see later. Yeah, have a break, have food. We'll talk later. So, lunch has been had. Uni work has been done. It is now 2:30. So I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee because I'm tired. And I'm gonna sit down and read some more. I think because I read a little bit more earlier, so I think I'm almost at the 200 mark now, so that's good. It's going in the right direction. I'm still really enjoying it. It's taken a turn that I was not expecting, which I mean, I guess most Murakami books does, but I still predict that this is probably gonna be, at this point, my favorite Murakami book so far. So I'm excited. It's fun. All right, let's make coffee. Hi. Okay, so I'm about 2 pages away from the 200th mark, so I've almost reached my goal for the day, which is nice. But there was a line in here that just, once it sort of sunk in and I realized what it said, I had to stop, go back and read it again because I was like, crap, that's really good. There's no spoiler in this sentence in particular, but if you don't want to like hear it, just skip ahead, I guess, because I have to read this. I have a lot more patience for others than I have for myself, and I'm much better at bringing out the best in others than I am in myself. That's just the kind of person I am. I'm the scratchy stuff on the side of the matchbox. So literally, it took me a few seconds and I was like, what does she? And then I was like, Jesus Christ, the scratchy stuff on the side of the matchbox. She's talking about how she's much better at like inspiring other people and being like an enlightenment to them, but she can't do that for herself. And it was just, once that sunk in, what she had just said, I was like, that's brilliant. And this is the kind of writing that I'm talking about when it comes to Murakami. It's like, it's the little things, because this isn't particularly a thing, like the sentence in itself and the passage in itself is not like a big deal in the greater plot of the book, but it's so well said. And it shows so much of this character's personality, and in just a couple of sentences you understand so much more about how she is as a person, and it's so brilliant. It's so good. Oh gosh. I'm sorry I'm continuously just gushing about Murakami's writing, but I can't help it. I'm gonna read a little bit more, and then my mother might be on her way home, and then I'm gonna cook us some dinner. I might actually read some tonight, and then I'll catch up with you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. It's currently about 8, a bit past 8 in the morning. I managed just to get some morning sun before it disappears into the clouds again. I ended up reading quite a bit more last night of Norwegian Wood. I am on page 310, so I have about 60 pages left of this novel. It's so good. I really like this, but I'm gonna talk more in depth about the stuff that I think is really good about this book once I've finished it. Fairly Certain is gonna be one of my favorite Murakami books once I finish it. I'm currently waiting for my coffee to get done, and then I'm gonna drink some of that, read some more, and then try and get some breakfast. I don't actually feel like making anything today, so I do know that I have like kind of porridge in the fridge that's cold. That's probably all that I'm gonna do today. I can't be bothered. We'll see. Maybe I'll make a sandwich. So I'm just gonna get my cup of coffee and then gonna read a bit more. The sun has entirely gone. The wind is going crazy. I can't even open the balcony door. Jesus. The weather has got really bad. Gosh. I mean, to be fair, yes, it is like a coastal small town, but crap. Okay, back to reading. So, I have just finished Norwegian Wood, and this is really, really good. Like, the way that Murakami sort of manages to pack in so many different things to discuss in this is actually really, really impressive, because he manages to discuss a lot of like the lives of young people in a very like kind of authentic but at the same time very fictional way. And I don't know how to describe it in any other way, because obviously there's things in this that I wouldn't say are things that young people always have to deal with. There's a lot about mental health and also suicide. So there should be some like trigger warnings on this, I guess. There's a lot of, mental health, depression, suicidal thoughts, and how to deal with all of that, and maybe how not to deal with it in some ways. He also discusses like sex and casual sex and what sex can mean and what it shouldn't be and what it maybe should be. And there's so many like different, like, he doesn't judge anyone. He talks through the characters in a way, like in a very authentic way to that particular character. You don't like all of the characters in this, and you shouldn't. You don't agree with all the choices that the main character does, and you never do in real life either. Like, even your best friends, you're never gonna agree on everything that they do or say sometimes. Obviously, because Murakami often writes like magical realism, I guess I would place him into, and this is not that. This is literally, I guess people would call it a love story, but I would sort of place it in the coming of age category in some ways. It's about a young man who goes through a lot of crap and has to find his own path in life and what kind of person he wants to be, And at the same time, it's a book placed in the 60s in Japan, in Tokyo. And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't think about it that much. I didn't realize, like, because he's writing a lot of letters throughout this, and it didn't feel out of place, but at the same time, it didn't remind me of the fact that he couldn't text or call on a normal cell phone, because they didn't, like, mobiles weren't a thing at the time. But it wasn't something that I thought about. And for some people, that's a positive thing, and for some people, that isn't. But to me, I don't like being reminded of what era I'm in all the time, because I'm like, well, you should show that, not tell it. There was a lot of interesting, like, weird, strange, particular characters in this that I really loved. Murakami really has a way with words and talking about people and relationships and how the world affects people and how people affects the world, and he's remarkably good. And there's so many underlined in this, but I'm gonna just choose one. I'm gonna make sure that there's no, like, it's spoiler free, obviously. This is completely out of context, won't make any sense to anyone, and it won't spoil anything either. So, as the three of us sat facing the candle amid these hushed surroundings, it began to seem as if we were the only ones left on some far edge of the world. The still shadows of the moonlight and the swaying shadows of the candlelight met and melded on the white walls of the flat. And as I've said, I think a couple of times in this vlog now about Murakami, is he has such a way with words that descriptions like that, that's technically pretty insignificant to the story in itself, they're so well written that you just sort of stop and go, how does one think of these descriptions of very normal things that is just generally happening in the world? The rest of Murakami's books, most of the time, are not this straightforward. Like, this is not a particularly straightforward book. However, there's no, like, magical realism parts in it. There's no strange, like, odd thing happening. So I don't know if Norwegian Wood is necessarily the best way into Murakami. I think you should read a couple of his more magical realism books before you get into this one, because if this is the first thing that you read by him and you expect this and everything else, you're going to be really disappointed. So I would start with something that does have some strangeness in it first, so that this doesn't become your expectation for the rest of Murakami's books. But yeah, it's damn good. So now that I've finished that, and it's now about 10:30 and I haven't eaten anything yet, I should probably eat something, take a little bit of a break, let my brain rest, and then I'm gonna do some laptop stuff. And I might actually pick up More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera today, because I do feel like reading that. So yeah, we'll see. But now I need some food. So this is what I was talking about earlier. This is essentially a porridge that is not as healthy, much sweeter, and has a blueberry jam in it. And it's delicious. And I wouldn't say you should be eating this too often, but I do love it and it's really nice. Not the greatest looking food in the world, but it's really delicious. So I'm gonna eat that. I think I'm gonna start, I might eat it in front of the computer. I need to get stuff done. So yeah, I'm gonna sit down now. So now I have done quite a bit of laptop stuff. So I think I'm gonna let myself take a break. I need some food. It's 1:45. I need some lunch. So I'm gonna reheat some of Mom's mashed potatoes and have a veggie sausage for lunch. And then I'm gonna start reading More Happy Than Not. Obviously, I'm not gonna be able to finish that within this vlog, but I'll get a start on it. Also, I have the physical copy in my apartment, so once I get home, I might switch over to that from the Kindle. But yeah, I feel like starting it, so I'm gonna do that. But first, lunch. So, lunch has been had. I'm currently waiting for my coffee to get done. If anything, this week has taught me that I drink a lot of warm beverages. Whether it's tea or coffee or hot cocoa, I am continuously drinking a lot of warm beverages. It is very cold in Sweden, to be fair, but still, like, I guess we learn stuff all the time. So when I get my cup of coffee, I'm gonna start my reread of More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. I have read that book once, and that was around the time it came out, which I think would have been around 2013, 2014. I'm fairly certain I was living in Belfast at the time, possibly. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, I'm really excited. It's probably still my favorite Adam Silvera book, possibly. I'm not sure, but I love this book so much. Not that I remember too much about it, to be honest. But yeah, let's get some coffee and let's get reading. Hi. So I read until about page 50 of More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. I now remember why I love this book so much. This main character is so well done. Like, that's the only way of putting it. This main character is likable, he's empathetic, he's easy to relate to, it's easy to understand his thoughts and feelings, and it's really so well done. The idea with a cure, like that you can forget things of your life. And in the beginning of this, like on the first couple of pages, the main character talks about a friend of his where he lost his twin brother, and so the entire family has gone to forget that has happened so that they can move on with their lives, essentially. Which is a questionable choice to make, but that's sort of the point of this book. It's like, is this actually a good thing to be doing? Yeah, really good. I'm really excited. However, I'm gonna wrap this up here because partly this vlog is ridiculously long and my mother's gonna be home soon and we're gonna hang out, and then we're gonna go to my aunt's tonight and have some dinner. So yeah, I have to wrap this up anyways. I hope you've enjoyed our first reading vlog on this channel, and do tell if you want to see more, possibly where I'm in my own apartment rather than at my mother's. But yeah, I guess first week of uni done. It's been a lot this week. 2 books read in about 5 days, which is nice when you've just started uni as well. So I'm doing all right. So I'm gonna get going, I guess. And until next time, bye.